Easy. Okay.
Dollar and Aspirant, 4 mana, 3/5. Inspire, gain spell damage +1. Seems like a cool arena card to me, but too slow for constructed.
Yeah, unplayable, I think.
That's the worst teacher.
Yeah, you play teacher.
Yeah.
There's Shredder over it. Let's Shredder.
Yeah. We're all agreed on this. This is a pretty simple card. Yeah.
Yeah. The art is nice, but yeah.
Also forces you to hero power.
I guess there's maybe some crazy like Kaldara Drake deck where you run this, but let's be honest. No. Flame Lance. Deal 8 damage to a minion.
It's so good. Oh my god.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely off the wall.
You can Flame Lance their Wrathguard and deal 8 damage to a minion and their face.
That's insane.
I would always Pyroblast that red card, you know. God, that card is awful. Like, who designed that card? Like, Fireball is 6 damage for 4 mana.
I mean, it's good as that's right.
You could go face with it too.
You know what? What I love about this card is how amazing it was to watch Amaz try to hype the card on his stream when he announced it.
Oh, yeah.
Such a struggle.
Oh, right.
He was trying so hard.
Even excited Amaz couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And that's saying something about this card.
But, you know, this card is a card at least that when you get it off of random effects is useful. Like, if you get it off Nefarian or that new card that puts a random spell in your hand, like, you can actually use it for stuff.
It's a pretty good card to get if you play Rack versus Nefarian, you know, just like...
Oh, yeah, totally.
Kill their minion for
and it's like it's not a bad arena card either. Like, it's not a good arena card, but it's like...
But the only thing is, if you want minion removal as a mage, Polymorph gets rid of Death Rattle, and it's 4 mana.
Yeah.
So just like the direct comparison within the class, Polymorph is much better in this card.
Yep.
Yeah. Except that so they have like, did Blizzard have like a quota of the number of cards they had to include this set to like release it? So there's like, they just like got bored of making new cards. They're like, let's make a crap card that no one will play, but it adds to the card count.
That's why we have better Magma Rager and better Booty Bay Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Billy didn't
needed
do
to hit a
anything for a
quota.
while over there. Let him design cards now. Let's go.
Well, what if you get it off of this card, Spellslinger? It's a 3 mana 3/4, which we're seeing a lot of now, and it has Battlecry. Add a random spell card to each player's hand.
Then you're gonna use in the middle of the game. You're gonna use 5 mana to kill like a 4/6 or something.
Yeah.
But so this card is I'm actually really interested in because I've heard differing opinions on it. Like, my initial read on this card was almost good enough to be played, but not quite. But I've heard other people saying, yeah, they'll play this in like a fast tempo mage deck. So what do you guys think? Will you try to run this, or pass?
Yes, Spellslinger's fine. It's playable. Stats are good enough. You get a spell, which is fine. So it's not too bad. You give your opponent maybe a removal spell, which is kind of annoying, but the thing is, like, it adds something to your opponent that is random that you can't predict, which might make other 3/4s better on turn 3. I just like that's like the only thing I can think about. Other than that, stats are fine. Effect is fine. It doesn't make it unplayable, but I think they're just better cards on turn 3, and you might want to play on turn 3. Like, I think like Kirin Tor is gonna get more.
Yeah, Kirin Tor seems like it might have a resurgence.
Yeah.
Other opinions? You guys basically agree that it's somewhat playable, but maybe not the best?
Sorry. I think Spellslinger is fine. Maybe like Tempo Mage has no turn 3 drop. Like a Flame Waker, you don't want to play it on 3, right? You want to like combo off. I can see it like see any other use. Like the text that I read is add a random void removal to the opponent. That's what I read. I don't know. Like the odds are so high. That's like removal over like just reach. But I think it's fine, like 5 from 10. I think it's okay. It's okay. Stat wise it's fine. It's playable.
I think it helps out with Mill Mage. You make Mill Mage a thing.
Okay. Mill Mage. Interesting. I'll be interested to see what the list for that deck does. I'm just trying to move us along a little bit. Effigy.
Locke is a big fan of Mill.
is
Oh,
the
stuff.
card that might mean that people want to run Karentor again.
Ooh.
I like this card a lot, not just because it's good in slow decks, but because I feel like the game has been really tilted towards removal and away from being able to play powerful threats, because it's so easy to make tokens to trade, and there's so many cheap removal spells, and Effigy punishes that a little bit. So you can play some really big dude and have Effigy up, and now they kill your big dude and you get another big dude. So like I'll be probably running this in like the Ronin deck. But I've also heard people talking about this in a faster deck. What do you think, Koro?
I like this one. I think this. Okay. Picture this in well, Neviilz would know a lot about this, in like the Molten Giant, Mage type. Well, because if Molten Giant dies, the only thing you can get is Molten Giant. So I don't know. That's kind of neat. But even that's like the extreme if you can control the outcomes of it. But I think even just 3 mana for a random 4-drop, a random 5-drop, I think it's pretty good. I like it a lot.
It's gonna be. This card's gonna be like a one-off in tempo decks, just pretty much.
Yeah.
But
Here's
they're gonna play like 4 secrets maybe and turn
Yeah.
4.
Here's what I want to know: is Neviilz gonna run this in Giants Mage?
No way. Like, I think like the only minion. I guess Martin what Cora said, but that's like the best case scenario if you healbot. But you rather play dupe. If you rather want to dupe your Martins or healbots in most cases.
Yeah.
I won't play it. I'd rather play dupe.
Okay, so this
Yeah,
is
the-
this
the
is
sketch,
more of a
but,
tempo card than a control
You don't
card.
really care about tempo as Martin. Just
Yeah.
play like 56 power on board in 1 turn. It's
Yeah.
fine.
The thing is,
So
do you
the-
think people are going to be playing this over Mirror Entity?
In
I-
tempo,
I
think
might.
so.
No, I don't think so.
I think like got 1 for 1.
I think they're
Maybe
just gonna
for,
play
like,
3
mind
secrets.
games,
I think they're just gonna play 4 secrets. They're just play double entity, 1 effigy, 1 counterspell.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I think
If
it's
you
gonna
play
happen.
Mad Scientist and they kill the Mad Scientist and effigy comes out, does it trigger on the Mad Scientist?
No.
No, it shouldn't get. No, it
Same
shouldn't.
reason that you don't get the scientist duplicated when it procs.
Okay.
Like I
Actually,
feel
I'm
like
curious about effigy. Like, so this is going to the molten question. Like, say you're at like 10 health, and you have a molten out, and it gets effigied. Does effigy take it from the base cost of molten, or does it take it from like the what it actually costs?
It's the base cost.
Base cost, yeah.
Okay.
So it's Martin forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not
if
a
you
wisp.
effigy as Sea Giant, you can get Deathwing.
Oh, okay.
Or Majordoma. Not Majordoma, the new card. What's it called? The new warrior card.
Oh, Varian.
Varian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's
You
like
can get the charge one as well, Ice Hound.
Oh, yeah.
It's called.
I feel like this is
Base.
there's like 2 different secrets packages that run this. There's the one Faramir was talking about in the faster deck. I feel like there's also a double effigy build that's a little bit slower, where you're using it less for tempo and more to protect your big threats. I'm kind of interested in how to build that one. Let's talk about Fallen Hero. Fallen Hero is a 2-mana 3/2. Hero power deals 1 extra damage. It does stack, so you can like play double Fallen Hero and then Echo, and then play your other 2 Fallen Heroes, and now you can hero power for 5 damage. So there's some kind of crazy combo deck where you have to get Emperor Thaurissan to proc 1,000,000 times to do it. But is there a more plausible thing? Like, is there a reason to play this in Constructed?
This card's fine.
It's not bad. Great in Arena.
Yeah, they're
Um,
good cards.
So I don't think you can like justify cutting a card for this though. Like stat wise it's fine, but like what do you
Yeah.
cut for it? They're like way more efficient cards to play. Like 30 slots you can save it.
You have to like. I feel like it's like a new deck. It doesn't fit into an existing deck. But like, is there a new deck with this card that's actually good?
No. No.
Yeah. Maybe like
You can't build a deck around your hero power. It just doesn't work. It's just not strong enough. So it's not like the one thing I could see then is like a freeze mage kind of deck, but no. I'd rather play against Devil or something.
Yeah. Doubtful.
Locke, you agree?
Fuck.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, they try to hype up this Inspire thing, and like, there's the one that makes your hero power cost 1, right? And then you have Caldera Drake, and then the Fallen Hero combo. But I think any kind of
More damage.
yeah,
For 2 mana and 8 mana.
It's insane.
So good.
any kind of deck built around your hero power. Again, you're losing tempo. Anytime you're using your hero power rather than playing a minion, building board is just losing tempo.
Well,
Yeah, I
so
want this card in Warlock deck.
so in a Warlock, I mean, so they
Well,
I don't think this is in any kind of faster or tempo deck. I feel like this is more of like maybe you run this as like a utility minion in some kind of fatigue deck where you're trying to use your hero power a lot to get value and like conserve cards. That's the way that I see this making any sense.
Yeah. Actually, in some control warlocks, they actually run shredders, right? So they can actually get this off shredder.
Yeah, and it does 3 damage to them when they tap.
Yeah, it's pretty OP.
That's actually a good. Toyda actually had a good question. If this drops from a Shredder and Priest, can you kill 1 health minions with it, like with your hero power?
No, so
You
your hero
probably
power
don't
deals
think
1
so.
extra damage, meaning that if your hero power already deals damage, then it
It
deals
would not
more.
deal-
But if it
okay.
does not already deal damage, then it doesn't start dealing damage. So the
Oh,
only
okay.
hero
Or-
powers it affects are
Shadow
Mage, Warlock, and
What if you have
Hunter.
Shadow Form? There you go.
Or Shadow Form, sure. Or
Probably.
Ragnaros.
Huh.
Any of those hero powers would be
9
affected.
damage.
Interesting.
Or-
The possibility.
Or I guess Shadow Form Shaman if you play that new weapon.
But I don't even know. Let's discuss that when we get to Shaman.
Yeah. So here's a
do that
card
today.
that I laughed for about 10 minutes when I saw this card. Blizzard finally listened to all our complaints, but they didn't fix the bug. Instead, they printed a new card, which is in fact Summon Huffer.
Oh,
No, this card is so good.
Polymorph Boar is a 3-mana spell, and it transforms a minion into a 4/2 board with charge, which I'm assuming will actually be Huffer.
Yeah.
I don't even care if it's playable.
I don't even care. I'm playing it.
Yeah. Just let them freeze, mate. No, it's fine.
What would you ever want to transform? Like, do you want to transform your own minions? Are
You play
trying to-
Mirror
you wanna
Image, and then you
transform-
transform your
Yeah,
Mirror
play Mirror
Image
Images.
into a boar.
Yeah, images or even like a portal. You can take a shoot a minion, you hit him in the face for 4. You play Golem, he brings it, you transform it and hit him for 4 again. It's insane. I love the card. It's so
Really?
versatile as well.
You think
It's
it'll be
so
played actually in like Tempo Mage?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like if you with Apprentice, it can like combo with images same turn. And like they have like 3 targets to remove. Like on turn 3, I think it is. Like you play Apprentice, coin this guy with images and like it's very hard to deal with 2 targets, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Yeah, would be easy play for sure.
Fair
Cool.
enough. It's like an Arcane Golem without the downside, and if it's played on Mirror Images, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, card's insane. Not insane, just above average. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
card is terrible. Like this card's
Oh,
just
man.
straight. This card is just straight up
Okay.
terrible.
You're in the minority on this one, Faramir. I'm sorry.
I've never
The thing-
agreed
the
on
thing-
anything.
No, like you have to understand. No, you have to understand. This card isn't Summon Huffer because it's not. It's transform a minion into a Huffer. That means you're gonna have to give up one of your minions that you either played like at least 1 to 2 mana for. That means that card.
So
For
you've
a
got
minion-
maybe you have to
Can
maybe
I-
you
can
run
I
Violent
finish?
Teacher.
For a minion, that's not even a good minion. Huffer is not a good minion. Like a 4/2 isn't good. It's just good in Hunter because like you just go for face anyway, and that's the best outcome of Animal Minion most of the time. Because they have to remove it, that makes them play a slower card to get a bit more tempo. This card isn't a tempo card. You need to remove one of your minions to get a bad minion that deals 4 damage to face. Mage isn't like Hunter that constantly pressures with hero power. So like, sure there's a tempo deck, and that plays aggressive, but it's still a board control deck. So, and that card just doesn't help you get board control. It's not like a deck that just can go for face and rely on the zero power and like your kill command and your quick shot to finish the game. This card makes you remove one of your minions, and sure, you can get it off with the Dream, with the Circuit Apprentice and the mirror images and the charge thing. But that's the Dream, and not like most of the time you're not gonna get that off. And sometimes maybe you're gonna attack with like, I don't know, with your mad scientist, and then you're gonna play that thing on the scientist, and it's still 2 health, and you dealt like 4 damage more, sure, but it's still as easy to remove. You don't get your stuff. Like normally you play your minions anyway.
I think
like,
we need to move on.
They do something, and like this card doesn't do enough. It gives you a bad minion. Like I'm a big Huffle fan, you know.
I think we need to move on.
But like it's just
Ooh,
not good enough.
All right, next card.
The next card is Arcane Blast. It's a 1-mana spell. Deals 2 damage to a minion. This spell gets double bonus from spell damage. I feel like this card is nuts. It's so good. You guys agree? We on the same page here?
Not really.
No? You
I
guys don't think this card is good?
I don't hate it. It's an arcane shot that can do extra damage but can't go to your face.
In Mage.
So,
Yeah.
in Mage.
If that card could go face, it would be nuts.
Yeah. But
Agreed.
like, you're gonna play bots or missiles over it, right? In most cases.
I mean, I basically see it as a flame cannon that you can target. Because, like, you're just going to run... like, you're already running double Flame Waker, which is, like, kind of +2 spell damage. It doesn't actually buff this with spell damage, but it triggers the pings. You're probably going to run the... Obviously, you're running Age of Drakes. You probably run Thalnos in that deck. It seems like if you play, like, Thalnos Arcane Blast, that's really good.
Or you can just go face.
Yeah, I think this can replace arcane missiles. I don't know. It's just like sometimes you're just hoping for RNG on the arcane missiles to actually remove a minion, and this one's just a more direct way to remove a minion.
Yeah, I like it. I think it'll probably be played.
This card's not gonna get played. It's not good enough. Like it's just, it's like if it would go to face, it would be played, but maybe with Flamebreaker, maybe. But other than that, I don't see it. Maybe in Freeze Mage.
I don't think it's a Freeze Mage card. I think it's a tempo card.
Nah, it's like
Hmm.
maybe it's
I-
a tempo card, but it's like, I don't know. The thing is, you don't play spell damage minions. The thing is, like, it's always going to deal 2 damage. Like,
Well,
have
so
a
you
spell
have
damage
to
minion,
change the
tempo
list a
mage.
little bit. I think you put a Thalnos in it.
Yeah, but like this thing
It
is
doesn't
not.
make it worse, right?
Then you have one out that this thing triggers with. That's not good enough.
You're already running Age of Drakes.
No,
Yeah.
you don't. Like the Mage right now runs 2 Fell Reverse instead of.
Tempo's got Azure Drakes though. Tempo Flame Waker's got
Yeah.
him. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe,
Garabashi Besmirker actually had a good point. It could be sort of an Antonitis helper. Like
Yeah,
copy
definitely.
Antonitis
It's
to
definitely an
remove it.
Antonitis helper.
I think it's a little bit hindered definitely by the fact that it can't go face, but a really effective minion removal for 1 mana, that's fine. If you arcane shot the face anyway, you're kind of like you're Dennis, so you might as well just use it, get some more damage out of it, and get some good trades on a minion for 1 mana.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna run it.
I think it's worth a shot, definitely, absolutely.
Maybe in like some Maligos, I don't know, to kill a free Sierra, like play Maligos, play Ronin, like play Emperor and just, dump your hand in 1 turn.
Huh.
Maybe, I don't know.
Kaldara
I
Drake
can't see it simply though.
is
Kaldara
a
Drake.
6 mana 6/6 dragon. But that's the good part. It says you can use your hero power any number of times. Is that also a good part, or are we disappointed?
Reset.
Or sad? I'm kind of sad too.
Like, pink face twice, it's not really. Like, pink a juggler twice, kill it, wow. I don't see. Like, I like the 6/6, like body for 6, and it's a dragon, but yeah.
I'd rather run Draconid Crusher in most decks. If I'm gonna run a 6/6 dragon, like, why wouldn't I run Draconid Crusher?
Yeah, it's probably better. Yeah, this deck is. I don't know.
Like, unless you're running that crazy combo deck, but it seems like every card you need to make that combo work with your hero power is so expensive that, like, the combo would never happen.
Yeah, and the Inspire is a better effect, so probably will not see too much play or at all.
Well,
Sounds like
we'll
it.
get to Inspire minions later.
Yeah, I think
Sort of like-
I think it's a nice addition to Dragon Mage. Like, gives it, yeah, it's a solid body, right? 6 mana for 6/6. You could make some kind of hybrid with the Inspire and Dragon synergies. But again, I don't think you really want to be hero powering that much. I mean, if you run this by default, you have to run the Fallen Hero plus the whatever the one that makes your
Maiden of
hero
the
power
Lake.
cost 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like, you have to auto include those if you want to make a deck around this.
Well,
But
I'm
yeah,
sure a lot
body-wise,
of people
it's
will
fine.
run that deck because it was in the launch event, not the announcement event, show match.
The demo, yeah.
So I'm sure people will try that. I'm personally not betting that I'll see that a lot on ladder, but you know, anything can happen, I guess.
I don't know. I definitely think this one is definitely gets better with the more combo potential it has, and especially with the 4/5 legendary that whenever you use your hero power, it puts a random spell in your hand. I cannot remember the name of it. But that card.
Sarad.
Sarad, yes. Champion Sarad. So I mean, definitely I think their intention was to use the Coldara Drake, use the Maiden of the Lake, and then, you know, proc Sarad and get a giant handful of spells like they did in the reveal when Trump was playing the Mage or something. And I mean, yeah, that's really cool, but you know, how many games are actually going to be slow enough that you're going to have time to get all of that on the field and then fill up your hand and then win with those cards?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good body. 6 for 6/6, fine by me. And, you know, even getting to use the hero power twice on a turn, 3 times on a turn, not bad. It's just not amazing, but I think it's definitely worth a shot.
Okay.
The thing with like combo decks like this is, with cards like this, is you need to remember if you want to pull off a combo with 3 or more cards, or like in this case, like I don't know, like 3 cards, maybe like that card, Maiden of the Lake, and whatever it's called, Sarad.
Yeah,
need
next
to
champion. That's what he is.
You need to do significant damage. Like if you play a combo that's more than 2 or 3 cards, you have to do either significant damage to the opponent or just like destroy his board and establish board and card control. Otherwise, the combo is just not going to be worth it. Like the minion's going to get removed. Like if one part of the minion combo gets removed, probably the Sarad, and it's just like you can use a hero power twice in a turn. Great. It's like
we need to talk about Ronan.
Oh, wow.
Ronan is an 8 mana 7/7 legendary. He's the Mage legendary, and he has Death Rattle. Add 3 copies of Arcane Missiles to your hand. 3 copies of Arcane Missiles is basically a 3 mana Avenging Wrath, so it seems pretty good to me. What do you guys think?
I think it's fine. It's really the make like a control-ish Flamewaker deck, maybe playable. Like it's not the best. Obviously, it's like 4 or 5 from 10 in my opinion. But maybe there's like some sweet like Archmage or Malygos deck to play this card with reach, out of reach. I think it's fine.
Fun game, Hunter.
But yeah, you play like Boom as well and Drag, the same list, right?
I
just
so-
kept saying Big Game Hunter.
I
That's a
was
fun game, Hunter.
I was theory crafting a
Okay.
list with this card, and I think it's pretty plausible because you can get really good Antonidas procs with the Arcane Missiles. It means that you don't have to run Arcane Missiles in your deck, right? So I think that's good. And the fact that it's a Death Rattle, yeah, you don't get them immediately, but your opponent might actually be pretty scared to give you an Avenging Wrath that like gets you 6 extra pings with Flamewaker. So they might like not really want to kill it without silencing it.
Oh wait, I thought it was a battle cry.
No,
it's Death Rattle.
Oh, that's so bad. I thought it was like if it's a battle cry, that's actually a decent card, but like if it's a death rattle, that's so bad. So just add to big game. You just like kill it. Then sure he has 9 damage in his hand, but you know, it's random. You get
I
to
don't
develop
know.
your board. It's like that's like the typical big game hunter target. Like 8 mana, it's overpriced for a 7/7. and
But
like,
you
it has
wanted-
a nice card text.
Well, you do run effigy in the deck, presumably, so that
that's
helps.
Like you can't just like assume that they're always gonna get like combos off. Just like it's just not gonna work that way.
Well,
I
wait,
guess what I'm thinking is like, what would you rather play on turn 8? A 7/7 that gives you some arcane missiles, or Archmage Antonidas and a spare part?
I'd rather play Rag on 8, just like deals 8 damage. Straight up. And then you don't have to wait to get 3 arcane missiles, and then you maybe get the turn afterwards, you get 3 fireballs from maybe the Antonidas that you maybe draw or maybe not. And then after that you have to do like, you have to invest another 2 turns to like play all those fireballs, so sure, if you like draw one after another and your opponent can like not remove them or like just barely remove one, and then you like can't remove your Antonidas or whatever, but like
I think we need to keep
more
moving.
wishful thinking most of the time.
I agree, Shevek.